One more time. Boom. Oh my God. At the time this is being recorded, June 5th, Thursday, 2025, Vasiliy Lomachenko retired this morning. And we're going to do a little bit of a career retrospective here. Vasiliy Lomachenko, one of the greats that we've seen in the sport of the last 10, 15, 20 years, this century, and some would say ever. A pound for pound guy for most of his career. My favorite Vasiliy Lomachenko stat, a lot of people are going to throw out there 396-1, which is his amateur record. 396-1. I mean, at that point, just go up to 400, right? 396-1. My favorite Vasiliy Lomachenko stat is this: 21 pro fights, 17 world title fights. Ridiculous. Almost every single fight in his career was for a world title. And by the way, 2 of his losses, incredibly debatable. Incredibly debatable. We'll go through it, but we're going to do a little bit of a career retrospective. It's going to be going through my personal favorite top 5 Vasiliy Lomachenko performances. The 5 that I think of the most when I think back on the career of Vasiliy Lomachenko. Number 5. We'll do it in order. Screw it. We'll do it in order. Vasiliy Lomachenko's first world title victory against Gary Russell Jr., then undefeated Gary Russell Jr. We're not going to do an entire film study, but just honestly want to go through the highlights, the high points. Again, Vasiliy Lomachenko is one of the awesome boxers. The footwork was legendary, obviously. I think his footwork, Vasiliy Lomachenko's footwork, is as good as I've seen in sports. And you're talking to somebody, or you're listening to somebody rather, and feel free to comment, please. Please do. If you're watching this, comment, donate to the channel, all those different things. I'm a one-man shop here, doing everything myself until I find a producer who I think I would like to help. But I definitely need one soon, is what I'll say. Maybe multiple. Okay, I think Vasiliy Lomachenko's footwork is as good as anybody's I've seen. That includes like Kobe Bryant. I cover a lot of basketball. And Kobe Bryant has impeccable footwork, obviously. That goes for currently, if you want to use modern players, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Brunson. You could compare him to, across sports, to basketball players who excel in the mid-range area and use their footwork to create, separation, to create angles, or post players like Hakeem Olajuwon, who had impeccable footwork back in his heyday in the late 80s, early to mid 90s, when he was the dream and he was busting Shaq's ass, David Robinson, and Patrick Ewing, and just owning seemingly every center he came across on a consistent basis. A lot of different sports, wide receivers who create separation at the highest levels. Terrell Owens when he was in his prime, Jerry Rice, gymnasts, figure skaters. Vasiliy Lomachenko's up there with some of the best footwork you'll see because of what we're seeing here. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Oh, actually, let's not, because he rocked Gary Russell Jr. there as we're just sort of letting these highlights play. But he's ridiculous. Look at this. Look at the skill level. Angles he gives you. He just sneaks that jab in there. A flurry of nothing from Gary Russell Jr., who won some rounds. Look, Gary Russell Jr. is elite. Elite. I wish he was more active during his peak. He is elite. But Lomachenko just took it to him. That's a nice combination there from Gary Russell Jr. This is number 5 for me. Like a performance for me where I'm going to remember Vasiliy Lomachenko like, okay, yeah, this is the coming out party. This is the dude who a lot of people were hyping up from the amateurs, from the Olympics and things of that nature. The best amateur career maybe we've seen, or at least one of the best. 396-1. It's going to be hard to match. Now over here, let's just get to round 10. Round 10. Gary Russell Jr. had to get after it. He was down on the cards at the time. He got a majority decision. He got a draw from one card, which is very interesting. I didn't see a draw here, but look at Loma. The different angles and just the movement. Let's replay that. I can't help myself. I'm like, this is not going to be a film study, but like, and I'm not going to do it, but like, yo, just look at the movement, fluidity in these combinations, and just continuing to just pivot the entire time, just switching off, giving you different angles, moving right, moving left. seemingly always moving at the exact right time when he should. Imagine fighting this dude. Jesus, what a pain in the ass. Good body shot there. Just level change and the speed he could do it. Head, body, head. Doesn't matter. All right. Next, we have number 4 for me in terms of my favorite signature Vasiliy Lomachenko performances. Jose Pedraza. 2018, December 8th, the MSG Theater. I think I was there for this. I've covered so many fights, covered so many things that, now it's blurring together. I'm at that age, I guess, even though I'm barely 30. This is one where you get to see, like, stylistically, Lomachenko get to a different level in the pros too. So at this point, he had beaten Jorge Linares. Look at that. Piston-like jab. Look at that straight left hand over the top. Jesus. At this point, this was for the WBO lightweight championship. Jose Pedraza had the title, as a matter of fact, very briefly, but he had the title no less. Jose Pedraza was the champion because he defeated Ray Beltran. And then you have Lomachenko beating him in December of that year. He'd beaten Jorge Linares, moving up before this to lightweight, and Guillermo Rigondeaux the year before, almost to the day, also at the MSG Theater. So we already gotten to that point of Lomachenko's career. And Lomachenko was 11-1 heading into this fight. Let's watch some of this before we move on to our number 3. The jab was killing Jose Pedraza. Jesus Christmas. Good body shots there. See how he covers up? Look at that. Look at this. That whole sequence. Awesome. This is awesome stuff. Blocks that. Pushes forward. Keeping his head off the center. Smothers. Look at that. Shells up for those punches. Plays with the jab. This is like peak Matrix Vasiliy Lomachenko. Look at that. Sneaks. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh. Look at this. Just look at the head movement. Oh, slips that right hand in there. Oh, another right hand just popping Jose Pedraza's head sideways. Combinations, level changing. Defense mixed in. This is where he looks his most unbeatable, his pound for pound best. Looking like he could beat anybody on the planet at this point. This dude is and was special. Jesus. Pedraza's doing what he can, man. Pedraza's a good fighter, man. Really good boxer. World champion multiple times. At this point, only lost to Tank Davis because of uppercuts like that one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is where he started pouring it on. Look at the crowd. Look at the crowd behind. Ukrainian flag. Multiple Ukrainian flags, actually. Stays in front, and you still can't hit him effectively because he's always moving. Some of the best footwork, endurance, stamina you could possibly ask for in sports. Jose Pedraza tries to tie up. Vasiliy Lomachenko doesn't let him. Pushes him off. Keeps him close to the ropes. This is just excellent pressure fighting while also giving you different looks, angles, not keeping his head on the center. Jose Pedraza is sitting duck for these uppercuts. There's the shift. There's another one. Oh my goodness. Jesus Christ. That flurry is all-time stuff. You just had enough at that point. You just got to take the knee. You have to. All right, number 3. Jorge Linares. 2018, before the Jose Pedraza fight. May 12th. Vasiliy Lomachenko moved up to lightweight. This was his lightweight debut at the pro level. And Linares at this point, people forget, peak Jorge Linares was really, really good. He was 44-3. And this was one of Vasiliy Lomachenko's toughest fights. Absolutely one of his toughest fights. Yeah, that's getting a replay. That's just, I mean, reflexes, matrix, all that stuff. Vasiliy Lomachenko at this point is 29. No, he's 30, actually. He's 30. Already been champion at featherweight and super featherweight at this point. Some people do argue that he should have stayed at 126 and or 130 longer than he did. He did move up pretty quickly, but I think some of what slowed him down was also just age. He turned pro late. He was 25, and this was after like a long, arduous, and successful amateur career. He turns pro earlier, we probably get more peak years. We definitely get more peak years. And then this right here is the moment that left a lot of people stunned. Round 6. Boom! There it is. Vasiliy Lomachenko gets dropped for the first time in his pro career. Jorge Linares. At this point, too, like the cards were a little shaky. Lomachenko was not dominating this. And then here you see Jorge Linares try to pour it on some more. Vasiliy Lomachenko, this is the first time we see him this vulnerable in a fight. But then here we go. Round 10. Boom! Look at that. Oh. Vasiliy Lomachenko drops him, gets his revenge. This is what made the fight, so to speak. And then here he gets a stoppage. At the time he gets a stoppage, the scorecards were at 85-85, 86-84, 1 for Linares, and 86-84, 1 for Lomachenko. So you have a draw. Obviously, Vasiliy Lomachenko would have gotten ahead because of the knockdown, but still, that got dicey there. And then he, did what he did against Jose Pedraza and moving on from there. Okay, number 2. Axeman Nicholas Walters. So this fight took place November of 2016. Absolutely feared puncher that Vasiliy Lomachenko was up against. He was still betting favorite and considerable one at that, but it was like, what if? Gary Russell Jr. is a different type of challenge stylistically, but this was one of his toughest tests to this point, and Vasiliy Lomachenko didn't seem like it bothered him very much. In this fight, he gets to everything he wants and he figures it out rather quickly. And Nicholas Walters, you see here, just having a lot of trouble with the footwork. The angles, constant switching and swinging and level changing, body, head, body combinations, body, head, like all these different things Lomachenko would do at his peak, his athletic peak at that, because at this point in his career, he's not even 30 yet. He's in his late 20s. Bullying the bully here. And this is why I typically tend to favor the more skillful all-around boxer as opposed to the puncher when the boxer faces the puncher. Just constantly move. That's the thing. Like the cardio, the endurance is insane. Constantly moving. Let me get to what I want. I want to get to my jab. Okay, cool. We'll mix in the uppercut and then we'll push off here because I want to create that separation and not let you get off here. All right, I got you in the corner now. Straight left hand. Walters doesn't know what to do. Like he can't do anything with these feints. Doesn't know what to do. Look. He doesn't want to commit fully. I don't blame him. Like fighting this dude was a pain in the ass, I'm sure. Scary. It's totally scary. Come on. This guy's one of the greats that we've seen, man. Good uppercut there at the end. Axeman just had no answers. Axeman, by the way, is active. He's fighting right now, as a matter of fact. So after this fight, he was done. He retired, left the sport, whatever. Like he was done for almost 7 years. He came back February 25th, 2023, and he fought twice, got 1 stoppage, 1 unanimous decision victory, winds up on a Pro Box TV card, beats look at Loma. Walters winds up on a Pro Box TV card March 27th, 2024, beats Joseph Adorno by decision, and loses to Luis Torrens Valenzuela. 3rd round retirement stoppage. That was March of this year, 2025. So 3 months ago, Axeman Walters was back in the ring at near 40 years old. So his corner stopped the fight. This was a retirement after 7 rounds, and a literal one because we didn't see him again for almost 7 years. Okay, number 1 on the list. This to me, I know Rocky Martinez. Rocky Martinez is number one on the Loma list for me in terms of my favorite performances by him because this is the biggest ass whooping of Loma's career. Just one-sided domination against a good fighter, but somebody who was like, oh, he should take care of him. This is kind of a showcase fight in some ways. This is still early Lomachenko. June 11th, 2016. And this was his best knockout, in my opinion. This was like Mayweather Gotti, but with a one-punch knockout at the end. The shifting, like this is again just peak athleticism at this time, at this age. Look at that. Rocky Martinez just overwhelmed. Loma just leaves guys overwhelmed, questioning themselves, questioning everything. Just constant movement, motion, feints, left hands from these weird angles. Look at that. Oh. Drops his hands to admire his work. The unconventional combinations he throw. I really, really like this dude. It's dawning on me now. Like he's one of my all-time favorites. If I haven't made that clear. Ugh. HBO Lomachenko beats ESPN Lomachenko for sure. ESPN Lomachenko was awesome too, though. But this guy was different. Look how comfortable he is and relaxed. Look at that. Head with the jabs. That left hand starts landing and he's like, oh, I got another thing I can use and play with. There it is. There it is. There it is. The best knockout of Vasiliy Lomachenko's career. Let's look at it again. He starts landing that left hand and then he sees something. And he probably saw this way before I pointed it out. Here it comes. Boom. That uppercut into that right hook. When I think of Lomachenko's best wins, in terms of just style, closing out in style, this is the one. Salute to Rocky Martinez. You did what you could. Nobody was beating this dude back then. Nobody. Except Orlando Salido, but wrongly. One more time. Boom! Oh my goodness. Oh. I'm glad that he gave us what he did. He's one of the best that I've seen. The footwork, the angles, the feints, the speed, the power, the combination of speed and power, the accuracy, the shifting. I'm gonna miss all of that. I'm glad he's walking away when he is, though. I feel like he's done what he could. And it looked like they were going to set him up against some of the young guys coming up, as my co-host on a mandatory, Chantel Shan, pointed out. Instead of fighting Raymond Murataya, he decides to hang him up. Respect. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. He's one of the best. His impact is legitimate. And I hope that he lives a healthy life because he deserves it. Let me know if there's any performances that you think are up there. What are your favorite Vasiliy Lomachenko performances? I want to know. Legitimately, I want to know. I think this dude deserves his flowers. Salute to you, Vasiliy Lomachenko, for giving us an awesome decade plus as a pro. Pound for pound, almost your entire career in the pound for pound top 10. More of your career was spent in the pound for pound rankings than not, which is incredible. It's a Hall of Famer, like I said. Talk soon. We'll be back with more on the channel.